using names in conversation, you had talked about earlier, it's good to know somebody's name, their first name, so you can just say, hey, Steve, what's going on? Um,
Hmm.
a lot of I've heard a lot of tips on people love the sound of their names, use it often, but I think if you overuse it, it raises a red flag for me. And I think someone's like angling in on me if they say, hey, Nick, nice to meet you, Nick. So, Nick, tell me about your passions.
Let
Oh,
me
Nick,
ask you
that's
this.
oh, sailing. Oh, Nick, sailing is a wonderful hobby, Nick. Then I go, they're using my name too much. What's
Sure.
going on? What are they trying to do? And so I say, use it at the beginning and at the end. So, you know, hey Shane, nice to see you again. So, you know that I know your name. And then at the end, see you later, Shane. It's been a pleasure. But if I'm just sprinkling it in all through the thing, then you risk overdoing it, and then it gets weird, in my opinion. At least.
Sure.
So,
But remember, the main point there though is at least using the names. Try to remember the names when you meet somebody. And I've heard people also say like when you hear the name, because a lot of people hear the name and then they say, okay, yeah, well, hey Nick, I'm Shane, and then you go into like a quick conversation. You're like, you go back, you're like, what the heck was that guy's name again? You keep thinking about it. But as soon as you meet them, I've heard like techniques. Okay, his name was Jason. What does Jason remind me of? Well, for me, Jason reminds me of, what was it, Nightmare on Elm Street. Well, he had a mask on. The mask was glow in the dark.
yeah,
This guy has got a glow in the dark dragonfly pin on his lapel. And that's how I'm going to remember that his name was Jason.
right.
This guy with the dragonfly glow in the dark reminded me of Jason Nightmare on Elm Street or whatever it was. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
A lot of,
So remember names, tie it to something.
yes. Then we'll get to the don't shallow network, and that is when you show up somewhere and then someone does introduce themselves, you can't automatically dismiss them and say, "Well, they said that they were a dentist, and I don't need anything from dentists, so I'm just going to move on." No, you don't know who that person knows, and so you it's best to engage, and they might be a super connected person. Dentists usually are very connected. They know everybody. And so uh, dig a little deeper. Actually try to, if you do that initial goal of making one strong connection, if you make a good connection with somebody, who knows what kind of referrals you might be able to get from that person, or value that you can add to them. Maybe there's something that you might find out that you can add value to them as well. So don't. It's really off-putting to me when people just try to use their networking just to try to get somebody. I need leads. I need leads for my real estate. Sure, I
Yep.
understand you need leads, but if you can actually connect with people, you'll have more leads than you would ever know what to do with, versus being really shallow and just trying to. Because I think people kind of feel that weird, desperate energy where you're just in there, just trying to, like, hey, are you looking to buy or sell? Looking to, what are you trying to do? And they're like, okay, you're kind of coming on a little strong, versus just actually connecting with them. And then they open up to you and say, hey, what about this? Maybe, I might, like the example you had earlier, my neighbor's house, they seem to be they're trying to do something with it and put it on the market, but they don't really know what they're doing, but it seems like it might be a good deal. Maybe you should look into it, something like that. They'll volunteer that to you if you don't come off as, douchey.
Yep. Absolutely.